I welcome you all. Okay, sir. I welcome you all in the in-house training session on ethics and integrity, a part of value-based education organized by Sainik School Tilaya on behalf of Kodarma School Sahodya Complex. Today's resource person is Mr. M. Rashid, a senior faculty of Sainik School Tilaya, having more than 30 years of experience in the field of education. Now I request Mr. M. Rashid, resource person of the day, to share his views on ethics and integrity.
Mrs. Anju Sharma. Mrs. Anju Sharma.
Yeah, somebody is calling Mrs. Anju Sharma. Please mute yourself. Good evening to all of you. I am MD Rashid. Hope I am audible to you.
Rashid Saab, just a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please, sir.
Copy out of this.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Actually, we have made a provision that the host school's principal will speak something about in the beginning, and at the end of the training session, expert views will be given by the principal of some other school. And in this meeting, Principal Kailash Rai, Saraswati Shishu Mandir, Jhumri Tilaiya is the panelist principal, expert principal.
Sure.
So we were expecting few words of wisdom from Principal Sainik School Tilaiya also. So could Mrs. Anju Sharma not inform Principal Saab? Hello?
Sir, he told you continue the session.
No, it's all right, but we were expecting some words of wisdom from him also.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Please ask, request him to spare some time if possible. Pratik Saab, please continue for now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I'm permitted, sir, to continue now.
Please continue.
Yes. Good evening to all of you. MD Rashid from Sainik School Tilaya. Thanks, sir, for permitting me to continue this two-day in-service training. So, the today's topic, ethics and integrity, is one of the important aspect of the value-based education in the present scenario. So let me share the screen. Well, as you know, ethics is not just an abstract intellectual discipline. It is about the conflicts that arise in trying to meet real human needs and values. When you talk about that intellectual discipline and you talk about conflict, so dear friends, since time immemorial, we have the witness pages of history. There is always constant fight between the good and the evil. When there is a Lord Ram, there is a Ravan. When there is a Ahur Mazda, then there is a Ahiraman. So there are ample of example. If the Lord Krishna is there, then naturally his Kanshi is also there to counter. So this is a reality in the life, and that is why it is told that situation arises all the time in the life. But ethic is based on well-founded standard of right and wrong that prescribe what human ought to do. So it is we to understand. So simply, I can tell you through my own poetry, ईमान मुझे रोके है, कुफ्र मुझे खींचे है, काबा मेरे आगे है, कलीसा मेरे पीछे. My dear friends, is always a fight. Once you are keeping the iman, naturally you want to go forward. But once you try to do that particular work, then naturally you also find certain kind of obstacle which comes on the way. So that is the reason why it is we to be careful. Either we are ethical, we are not supposed to change. And this iman, either at the cost of the crores, not to be sold out. So that kept in the mind, my dear friends. Etymology, of course, is the ancient Greek word etikos, meaning relating to one's character. In the Latin, it is etica, and in the French, it is éthique. So, the ethics are principles that guide behavior, while integrity suggests that we should carry out ethical principles in our daily life and activities rather than espousing an ideal and then doing something contradictory. So it's very important because what philosophy we keep as a teacher, what we intend to teach the students, we had that value of the words. What is this value of words is only espousing or it is in the reality. So that we have to keep in the mind that what we say, we are committed to do that. If it is not, then we are not creating a healthy society and will not be able to justify as a teacher in the classroom. So keep in the mind, once you say something, your word should have the value, what you intend to achieve. And so as the students also intend to achieve that. The next is this is the five codes of ethics. First, this integrity, which has a value in the life. You are supposed to adapt this quality in the life, do it what is the right as a teacher. Then is the teamwork. As you know that recently the CBSE has introduced a number of curriculum and we have done certain practices. So multidisciplinary task, which is the order of the time, the group tasks, which has been done by us also, and it is done by the students also. A number of groups have been created. And you might have realized that how beautifully this SS has been provided the CBSE. So it depends to us that how do we carry. Earlier, the people surprised, as a man of the history, how can you talk about mathematics? But now this task has been given to see that. As a geography teacher, we talk about the sea, then at the same time, you talk about the depth and the length and the breadth. At the same time, you try to chalk out any kind of map, then at that time, the art teacher has had the valuable contribution. You intend to write something on that, so you go to the English teacher to correct yourself and to the students. So this is what is called the teamwork. So we are supposed to carry on this teamwork as a part of our behavior, our work. Then the next is objectivity. So we talk about objectivity, we should be very clear what the school intended to achieve from us. If you are not clear, you will be confused. Suppose we are in the Sainik school. Our sole motto is to send the students in the defense forces. Not that if they don't join that by any means with a restriction of seats, it's not that they are not supposed to encourage for the other discipline and the other livelihood to excel in the life. But if I fail to create any kind of wrong objectivity, naturally I'll not been able to justify to mean what the school intend to achieve it. So this objectivity is to be understood and is taken to be very seriously by all of us. Then confidentiality. You know that the question paper which is set at home, we had children sitting at home. We should not have the love and the lust at the home. Whatever it is, we are supposed to be very cruel to the students, even to our children. And by no means that even it should be disclosed who is going to set the question paper. So that has to be kept in the mind. We had the selection boards where we are supposed to set the questions when the teachers are being appointed. We have to be very cautious when we are doing that. And by no force, this confidentiality which is put to us, soldiering by our respected principals or the vice principal or any administrative unit should not be incorporated. So that is all when we talk about the ethics, it has had the highly valued. Then we had the purchase committee. It may be of the 1 rupees or maybe 1 lakh rupees or maybe in the crores where you are put as a part of having any kind of purchase. You have to have this very clear intention in the mind and that this confidentiality and the work which has given not to be exposed. Then you talk about professional behavior. Naturally, professional behavior is nothing but you are supposed to be very less critics. At time it happens, my dear, we are in the great josh and we talk something blah in the vicinity among the teachers or among the students. Sometime, of course, unintentionally in the class also. It should not be so. Healthy critics always to be outcome is a part of beautiful democracy, because it is often say that uh, जमहूरियत वो तर्ज हुकूमत है जहां बंदे को गिना करते हैं तौला नहीं करते. But doesn't mean that what democracy enshrined to you as a noble citizen, you should not behave the way it is supposed to be behaved. So professional behavior is must. We have to keep this in the mind. So not to be critics or nil, I can say, in the vicinity where students are present is not required, because a teacher is supposed to do what he is supposed to. If he's consume himself like a candle and enlighten the children, naturally, it is his sole motive. Where is the time? There is no time. I don't think there is a time. Sometimes we are busy in the project, sometimes in the teaching, sometimes the guiding the students, scolding the students, motivating them. So there is no room at all for this unnecessary behavior. And then, of course, we have to have the thinking of healthy contribution. In that way, of course, this professional behavior will enrich uh, and benefit the institution. Okay, next, going to meaning of integrity. Integrity means the ability of an individual to remain consistent and committed to his personal and professional values. So you keep in the mind, you shouldn't change it with the time, with the days, with the minutes, no? So it's a very clear ideology of an institution where we are supposed to nourish the children. We are supposed to give the high value order of the teaching. We are expected to groom and develop them as a healthy and the wealthy citizen of the country. They are the resource who are supposed to take the country in the 21st century as the leader of the nation. It has to always been reminded by Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. So it is our responsibility to soldier and to remain consistent and committed to the professional values. It means that one should adopt ethical and moral values. Naturally, without ethical and moral values, then our conduct will be not right, and we cannot be justifying that what we are supposed to achieve as a teacher. We may say, we may write the articles, we may speak, but will not be able to achieve that aim. It is quality of being honest and having a strong moral principles towards self and institution. Self is very well. Nowadays, of course, there is a machine to put it and justify. When machine system was not there, then signature was there, and then we were supposed to sign the register. Well, everybody was in time. Now this new machine has come, and there the fingerprint is being taken once you are in and once you are out. Well, so far as I concern, 35 years of service, somebody asked to me, is not required. It is my personal. Why? It is because I am confident. I am confident that out of 34 years, uh, except a few emergency, I was never been late doing my duty. So this is that is why I said that it depends to us. It is we to value, because we had the principle and laws for ethics, but we could not have the law so far as the integrity is concerned. So there is a difference, my dear. So we have to keep in the mind that we are supposed to be honest all the time. So integrity is choosing your thoughts and actions based on values rather than personal gains. At a time, you'll have the situation where the personality or your personal needs will clash, and that is the time when we talk about the values. So uh, if we carry the value, then naturally we intend to have this high degree of integrity. And by no means, no, even your own children to appear as a part of the teacher where the institution is there, you should be very ruthless, no? because he's competing for your institution, which is very close to your soul and heart. It is not a question of your son. It is a question of those all the sons who are present, and the parent left the responsibility to us. And when it is the school like the boardings, naturally, you can easily understand, once you have responsibility to groom these all children whose parents are left to your soldier, then you are supposed to had your behavior to be very upright all the time, and your values uh, should always govern based on uh, integrity, where you could show that your institution is supreme, your children, and you are the Chatwood. You can read that what he said to, because the nation come first, the man he command come to next, and his own ease and comfort always come in the end. So this is what is spoke about the people who has the high sense of integrity. And so far as etymology is concerned, is a Latin word, integrite, a meaning whole or complete. So when you talk about whole or complete, then you have to understand that this wholeness in your character should be also there, and this wholeness to be found, the work which is assigned to you. Our work is what? To handle our children, to teach them, to give the high sense of discipline, high order of the knowledge, skill, and good atmosphere around them, among the colleagues, not to bifurcate anybody on the basis of class, creed, or religion. We have to think weakest of the weak students present in the class. The glittering eyes always search a teacher as a parent, according to me, not as a teacher as a teacher. That is the reasons why there's a number of theses to be present to describe about the good teachers. To me, of course, to understand that students in a better way and to solve their problems as you solve your children at sitting home, meaning the definition of good teacher. That is the reason when I write these Hindi words, it's not that the political, that is sabka sath, sabka vikas and sabka vishwas. So it is not a political slogan to me. In fact, it is a kind of the values to be incorporated, where we are justifying our teaching to make a very healthy atmosphere, to look each and every student as equal, to justify our teaching, and of course, so far as the colleague is concerned, we should try to have a healthy atmosphere. Well, when we talk about the principles of integrity, the first is the honesty and transparency is easy to understand. As I told to you, above the table and not down to table. If these two words is clear, it is a louder implication. The whole society which encounter today, we talk a lot about. But of course, we have to also soldier this responsibility, because the generation which we are building, they are called the nation builder. So we have to understood that. Sometime, of course, when I was young, and then it was being told that, sir, why are you checking your copies in the front of students? We check it generally to the outside. I said, there is no harm. I check in front of them so that I could justify their mistakes. And they have all the democratic rights to ask why this number was detected. What is harm in that? So this is all thinking which we have to keep in the mind. When we talk about the exemplarity, so it is you to set the realistic and the higher target. If you'll not set the target and keep on improving and working on that target, there is a stagnation. So there is no Josh at all present among the students and among the teachers. So I think that there is no limit. We talk about the success of Americans, and then we also talk about this Hindi line of the poetry. चढ़े हिमालय के ऊपर और भी ऊपर चढ़ना है, हिमालय के ऊपर एक और हिमालय गढ़ना है. So that tells about that the sky is the limit, which is often described in the Hindi quote. So what I told to you in the English quote, and as I told you in the Hindi. So far as the respect and the dignity is concerned, generally we say is हाथ करो उस हाथ मिले यहाँ सौदा दस्त बदस्ती है. So it is true. What we do the others, we expect the same return. So is the Newton law is to be prescribed. So we have to be very careful. If you intend to respect the elders and the seniors, if you are friendly to our friends, and if you give due weightage to all those who are present in the vicinity where we are working, I hope that uh, problem will be solved. So rightly it in being said that respect is earned, is not demanded. So this respect to be earned based on our own behavior and character. What way we value others, the of course we also expect the same. So by reaction, any reaction, we are supposed to be very careful. In the class also, the same to be applied. What may be situation, but I sincerely request that we should have the fatherly figure and bear a ton of load inside or any jerk because the stupidity could be expected. But our maturity is that we should be very sincere and dignified and respect to each and every student. When you talk about the integrity building blocks of the ethics, then so far as the integrity as identity is concerned, it is the commitment. This commitment has a lot of meaning, and those who are committed, especially the schools which are the boarding, it has no time bound at all, because you encounter such a situation where you'll find the boy who was coming from the Hindi medium. And if the boy is coming from Hindi medium in class 6 is okay, but even in the ninth, what to do? If you are a housemaster, what you are supposed to do with that boy? You read few lines. Out of few lines, you found that the boy is not knowing the 20 word meanings out of the 30 words compiled in that particular sentence. You are supposed to take that challenge. And how gigantic that task is, I can understand. But in reality, I have transformed that boy and has got the respected marks in class 12. But how much time it was consumed? What time I gave that particular boy after the dinner? 9:30. Continued it. Sometime to 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. What return I got, I'll never forget in my life. Because once the house meeting was or farewell was going on, the boy said that there are two gods, one who is there in the sky and second who is sitting in front of me. So this is what you do it and what you get it. As a teacher, what else you need to do? But what you are supposed to do is your commitment. You have to keep in this mind. Personal integrity is accountability, which I already talked to you. Number of tasks assigned to you, it is you to justify. You must account yourself for your conduct. Don't be smart enough. Sometimes the people are very smart. Something goes wrong and they are afraid. And they say, oh, sir, I haven't done this mistake because of my friend, of course, or due to these children, and due to this and that, it has happened. And that is why the work was not being done. No, we are not morally upright. It's not a right value. So we are supposed to be very clear. We have to take on responsibility. We are supposed to finish that work. If something goes wrong, we are supposed to come forward very honestly and tell that why the things did not happen. Professional integrity is the duty. Of course, we all are the duty bound to justify ourselves. There is no need of seeing that the principal is coming outside and ask smartly to two children sitting to the corner of the windows to peep down and see. Either senior master, vice principal is coming, whisper, not at all. Or either I could take the round outside of the gate to feel that who is coming, and then I should feel feel serious about teaching, not at all. So by no means we are supposed to have this kind of theft in the nature. Otherwise, it is being caught by the thousands of eyes surrounded to us, and naturally We don't expect as a teacher to be respected in the society or by the children. Institutional integrity should be always supreme. The vision and mission may be different. Sainik school is different. Nowadays is different. KVS is different. Public schools are different. So one should be clear what this school has been opened. Though we know that the teaching is the prime, but out of the teaching, what kind of teaching, what the level of the teaching should be there? How many students have been created who are serving to the country? Of course, some teachers had a chart, they know it personally. And the students also in the constantly touch, even though have raised, grown up to the age, yet they found to be very small in front of those teachers and they speak like a child. I have found the students and they are regularly in my contact, those who are even the registrar of the university or the vice chancellors, and they talk like a child. So it is all depend that the vision and mission which you created for your school achieved through the child, how much you involved for that particular child matters most. So keep in the mind, my dear, integrity as a purpose is morally sound. So number of times it happens that paucity is, yes, paucity is there always in life. We have started our teaching with the 100 rupees note and less than that. But today, after the six pay commission, of course, we have that bounty in pocket to support our family. So we have to very clear about this quote. If somebody say, I used to say, मेरा तरीक फकीरी है अमीरी नहीं, मेरा तरीक जीने का तरीका फकीरी है अमीरी नहीं, खुदी न बेच गरीबी में नाम पैदा कर. APJ Abdul Kalam, I mean to say, as a paper seller, to be the president and the greatest scientist to be ever born. So it all depends what value we incorporate. Then the next is 5 ways to demonstrate integrity in the workplace. It's all easy. We do it. We are a role model. If we are not a role model, how to wear, how to talk, how to get. So we can't teach the students. And of course, there will be a gap and the institution will not prosper. Respect others, even they are the juniors, no problem. We can learn even as the, please, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Hello. 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 Yes. So be a role model is the first. Then the respect others' opinion always. Address conflict once you are living together. Naturally, it is bound to happen where the intellectuals meeting takes place. The opinion differs. But once opinion differs, we are supposed to be very friendly and gentle. And then we to try to sort out the issues. Be ready to work. Of course, always new challenges used to come where the students are there, but you should be always ready to contribute to your institution without any fuss, because there are a number of excuses for not doing the work, but there is only one admitted fact to be regarded as an honorable teacher, that you should contribute to the institution or to the children. Report unethical behavior. Sometimes it happens. We try to hide the students' behavior, thinking that my marks will be deducted. As a class teacher, I will not have good reputation. As a housemaster, I will not have a good reputation. There, I'll not be able to have a championship and all, and then we ruin. So don't ruin it. Whatever it is, you should be very clear. And even among you also, you find that something which is going on around you, you should not close your eyes. You must react, whosoever is there. Then only you can talk about the value present in the education. you talk about these eternal values. So these eternal values is the first is a peace. As you know that is the greatest threat in the today's society. So avoid materialism is the outcome of the capitalism and materialism where we became more materialistic. That is why this eternal values is not to be achieved. So we can say only and quote only Santosham Param Sukham. But where is a Santosham? There is no Santosham because if we have a cycle, we need the bike. We have a bike, need a car. We have a car, need a bigger car. We go by the train, we wish to train by the aeroplane. So it's the endless desires. So that is the reasons why I always say there's a peace. It's not only the peace to be achieved through your practice of the yoga and the religious practices, but even going through the number of biographies and autobiographies which you are supposed to go yourself and ask your student to also follow that. The knowledge, eternal values, of course, and the knowledge is attached. So whatever externally we teach the students, we should not forget there was a time where the moral teaching was the part of syllabus. And again, hopefully in the coming date, it is being focused. That is the reasons why the value is incorporated in all the chapters. You see the CBSE books. So do not restrict in narrow shell and then spend some time to read the Gita, Bible, Quran, Puran, and then of course derive certain characters and infuse these values among the students and ask them to make a lifestyle. Then it will take them away from materialism and the purpose of knowledge which they understand to become only the doctor engineers. And then you have the number of diseases in a very early life due to this strain. So it will be not, and of course we will also expect a very healthy society. So next is the beauty. So everybody knows the beauty is always in the eyes of beholders. So what way we see the things, we describe. Eternal beauty is nothing but the God according to me. As rightly said, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. So one has to feel it all the time. We talk about the harmony, and then when we talk about the harmony, then of course we come across nowadays how hostile today's society is. Why it is? Because we do not have those eternal values, and we had only these external values, which is based on our pump and show. That is the reason why we do not able to create this healthy society around us. As a few poetries, when I used to say, आदमी आदमी को सताता क्यों है, कत्ल गारत करके इठलाता क्यों है, जब एक ही धरती एक ही झंडा एक ही मुल्क, फिर खुद को हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ईसाई बताता क्यों है. So I don't mean that they should not tell who am I. But if you are the national, it is more important to understand first. Those who sacrifice their life in the pages of history and we breathe it today in the atmosphere, which is free, is the cost of those. So Amrit Motsav, which is celebrated, of course, and you also contributed through your children. You know that. So it is more important to first Indianize oneself. The harmony will, of course, prevail in the society. And that is why I otherwise say that नुकरी घंटियां मस्जिदों में बचने दो, आज़ाम मंदिरों के पार से भी आने दो, और कौन जाए काबा और काशी, पहले इंसान तो बन जाने दो. It's important that at first you should try to be human. If you are not human, then what is the use of going and purifying yourself? The purity of that soul is present within you. The people are around you. The God is around you. You are supposed to achieve that. And then nothing will restrict the country to progress. Otherwise, economy, you are teaching, you know that. A band, a hartal happens to be in one day. How much loss of those millions of rupees incur in a poor nation? So be harmonious. Goodness, of course, is to do charity, donation, show sympathy and kindness. So that always kept in the mind this value, of course, is not an easy what we say in the practice elsewhere. So we keep in the mind. Then in totality, if you could read it, is a beautiful Confucius. We talk about the Chinese progress. So it's not that we are not progressing, leaps and bounds, we are progressing. And the time will come when the China is far behind than the Indians. I pray and do and expect others also to contribute. If there will be righteousness in the heart, there will be beauty in the character. If there will be beauty in the character, there will be harmony in the home. If there will be harmony in the home, my dear, there will be order in the nation. And if there be order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. So, this is what we can think to build a society. Well, this is about photographs. Jitendra Singh Shunti, the Padma Shri Awadi. If you could have a glimpse of this photograph and the person, anytime the COVID pandemic too taught a lesson. And he is the person being a doctor by profession, and he has support, economical support. But when you talk about his sacrifice, the time when the people has forget their near and dear, the people throwing the dead bodies here and there, the people were unable to recognize the old brothers and sisters, were taking out the rings, the fingers were cut off, the hands were chopped off to take out the certain golden rings. In that scenario and uh, worst condition, the person was went around, of course, the cremation ground, created his own society and contributed and give the cremation of the thousands, hundreds and the thousands who required his help. So it is not a person to be praised. He is not a human being. So it is not that he could not think of that his son and the daughter may also had the COVID and they may die, but he contributed. There are in number of examples, but is only one example which has given. I myself had in the trouble, and the 5 family members were to die conditions, and we were also nourished thanks to a doctor who is my relative. But they endangering their life and coming to our room. So it happens that that is what we count the value. Otherwise, लोग यही कहते थे, मिटता है रिश्ता तो मिट जाने दो और पहले खुद को ही बच जाने दो. तो यही था लोगों की थिंकिंग कि कोई मिटता है तो उस रिश्ते को मिट जाने दो, पहले खुद को ही तो बचा लेने दो. ऐसी हमारी थिंकिंग हो गई थी उस वक्त. लेकिन हम जानते हैं कि दूसरी सच्चाई ये भी है कि मौत से किसको रुस्तगारी है, आज तुम्हारी तो कल मेरी बारी है. But yet we are very personal and thinking ourselves. So that lesson has to be learned from this gentleman. And you talk about teachers as a role model. Then, of course, the love and the passion. When we talk in short, teachers by choice and not by chance. So it has a lot of meaning. We talk about teacher by choice, not by chance. So if you have had this profession, you are supposed to be very committed. Yeah, active learner, you know that. The teacher is the best student according to me, because the moment you restrict yourself not to learn the things, of course, you cannot justify yourself a good teacher. So you are a teacher by choice. Okay, by chance, not the choice. So keep adding that knowledge. And if this passion is there with us, if we are update ourselves, then only we can tell the students to update themselves. If you do not have any knowledge, somebody ask about, sir, how can you react about any of the issue? Nobody heard about the name of Taslima Nasreen. What happened to her? Of course, the boy asked one question. Yes, you ask the children who asked the Charlie Hebdo and what happened in the France. The moment you ask this question, oh, he said, Ari, Sir knows that incident also which happened to that. Okay. Then so many other characters are there. Is only one example. So it is all depending uh, that how update you are yourself. That is why I often say, नहीं तेरा नशीमन कसर सुल्तानी के गुंबद पर, नहीं तेरा घर नशीमन, आपका नशीमन और घर जो है वो गुंबद के मीनार का नहीं है, नहीं तेरा नशीमन कसर सुल्तानी के गुंबद पर, तू शाहीन है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों के चट्टानों पर. So you want to, you wish to fly high, you go and fly high and touch the sky. Don't rest yourself. तो आप शाहीन की परवास तो भरिए, ऊंचाई पे खुद ब खुद पहुंच जाएंगे और वो बच्चे भी पहुंच जाएंगे. Punctuality, of course, everybody knows. Doing something, accepting, telling and doing should be there. Humble, kind, and reachable. Of course, greatest quality, fun to be in a teacher. Next is facilitator and guide, where all of we are the facilitator and guide. I remember one of the dialogue of Shah Rukh Khan, "मैं हूं ना." If you say "मैं हूं ना," of course, may children laugh, but if they understand why did you say that, if they don't know a basic question, your door is open all the time. So okay, then talk about the next is patriotism. Well, patriotism is a character required more than all other points which were discussed a number of times, because that built up our behavior, students' character, our society, and contribute to progress for a healthy country. That is why we can say that तन समर्पित, मन समर्पित, ऋण का तिरतिण समर्पित, चाहता हूं देश की धरती तुझे कुछ और दूं. So it is not what we have to take, it is what we have to give to this country. Well, next in the series is the Janusium way. All of you might have gone through the news and had these embarrassing conditions where the CBSE has given this responsibility to conduct the examination, where the papers were out, not in good taste. So as first term examination recently to be happened, and when we were evaluating after the 3 papers, we were asked not to do that. So some fall means adopted by the schools. So that is the reason why in our time there was no hanky fanky, no rules present. Whatever we wrote, what marks we got, all admitted, because we all believe in the institution. But now they are supposed to be corrected. So being a teacher, my sincere request, whatever work we have to given as individual basis or institutional basis, we are supposed to be honest and upright. Then we talk about students. So this character is also supposed to be foster, like be an ideal. So not adopt one-way traffic when we talk about be an ideal. So be strict, no duality. What you say, do that. If you are in the exam hall and slightly slacking, naturally the advantage will be taken by the students. Avoid comparison. Heterogeneity is always there in the class, and we are supposed to be not comparing the students. 5 fingers are different, so all children are different. So our duty is to take them or group them, mold them, shape them, and to their capacity without stress, we could achieve the goal. Infuse confidence. So again, I say that ए ताहिर लाओती उस रिस्क से मौत अच्छी जिस रिस्क से आती हो परवाज में कोताही. So it is again a little difficult poetry, but it means that कि वो चिड़िया जो आसमान में उड़ती है वो खुद ही बताती है कि जिस दिन हमें नीचे आना होगा अपने प्रे को पाने के लिए, वो मेरे लिए मरण का दिन होगा. इसलिए कहा जाता है ए ताहिर लाहौती उस रिस्क से मौत अच्छी जिस रिस्क से आती हो परवाज में कोताही. तो हमें छोटेपन ना रखना है और ना आदत डालनी है. जहाँ तक स्ट्राइव करे, जितना हार्ड वर्क करे उतना ही उसके लिए अच्छा है, हमारे लिए अच्छा है, इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए अच्छा है. नेक्स्ट इज सेंस ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन. सो ऑलवेज स्टार्ट वेल डन, गुड, कीप इट अप. These are the words to be adopted. Promote sense of brotherhood is important. So keep in the mind. Always change the seat of the students. Then system of rewards for the students. Always you find the students getting less marks. Always keep the word that the boy has done honestly. At least the boy will have a courage to do better the next time. Instead, we can say, oh, yeah, why this poor marks? No, value is honesty also. Okay, come to the next. Is a Ubuntu. In the short, I can tell you, this is a story related in Africa where a person say that a bunch of the children, if you run and be first, you'll be given the chocolates or the rewards. What these children did, they caught the hand of each other and all together reached to that particular place. So this is what we can learn from the children. I am because we are. So it's not because I am. I am because we are. A strong message for all generation, for us also to learn from these children. Come to the next. When we talk about recite this line, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Hirdeo Maheshwara, Guru Shakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurudev Guruve Rama. So it is we to be project ourselves as a guru, as a god. And if we project ourselves, we are supposed to also behave like a god. We are supposed to keep the honesty and truthfulness just like a god. And the society also is supposed to be reciprocate. They should not consider the paymaster. That should be considered as the destiny master. That is why the Americans are progressing, and so we are also supposed to progress. The day this motive and thinking will change, the nation will prosper and progress. Then, my dear, the next is, of course, this is one of the story, and this is for your thinking only. The shortest story, of course, the time is now approaching to close it. So, this is about the Hin's wife suffering from the cancer. A doctor told Hinz that a local chemist had invented a new drug that might save his wife. The person was very happy to hear this and went to talk to the chemist. When Hinz saw the price tag of the new drug, he was devastated because there was no way he could afford the drug. पैसे नहीं थे. He also knew that the price was 10 times. वो जानता था कि इसका कॉस्ट जो है वो ब्लैकमेलिंग कर रहा है, ज्यादा है. So what way? Where to get this money? So he hadn't any way to get that money. तो पैसे नहीं मिल पाए. ठीक है, उसने उससे बेग भी किया, काफी मिन्नतें की, आरजू की, याचनाएं की. अंत में क्या होता है, केमिस्ट नहीं देता है. तो जो एनीज है, उसको लाइफ को सेव करना होता है, तो वो फिर जो है केमिस्ट के शॉप को वो ब्रेक कर देता है रात में और वहां से दवा को चुरा लेता है ताकि वो अपने वाइफ की जिंदगी को बचा सके. तो ये कहानी है जिसको कंक्लूड हमको करना है. हमें सोचना है कि इस तरह की लाइफ सिचुएशन अगर आती है तो हमें कैसे उस लाइफ सिचुएशन को फेस करना है, कैसे उसको मीट आउट करना है. कैसे ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस लाइफ में आते हैं जिसके इंस्टांसेस मैंने आपको पहले भी बताए हैं. आपको ये सोचना है और डिसीजन आपकी होनी चाहिए कि इस तरह कि अगर कोई सिचुएशन अराइज होता है तो हम किसको वैल्यू देते हैं। नेचुरली अगर एथिकली हम राइट हैं, हम जानते हैं महात्मा गांधी का वो इंसिडेंट, आप भी बच्चों को बताते होंगे और बताते रहिए बार बार ताकि उनको रिमाइंड होता रहे। जब हम बचपन की बात करते हैं तो स्कूल इंस्पेक्टर की बात करते हैं, जिसके आने के बाद भी नज़दीक आने के बाद और कहने के बाद भी कि आपका आंसर जो है गलत है, गांधी जी ने उस आंसर को सही नहीं किया, बोला नो मैटर। तो ये तो एक कैरेक्टरफुलनेस है। ट्रेन से फेंक देने के बाद भी वो आज़ादी की लड़ाई जारी रखते हैं, और बग्गी और कुशवान के पास बैठकर बेइज्जती होने के बाद भी उस लड़ाई को जारी रखते हैं। तो वही नहीं, बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं। पूरी हिस्ट्री जो है। ओके, नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट, ऑफ कोर्स, टू कंक्लूड, अगर सब कुछ हो रहा है इस तरक्की के ज़माने में, क्या सबब है कि आदमी इंसान नहीं बनता? तो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट द 21st century, where the person has gone to the moon, Mars, and the sky also. But so far as the human value is concerned, if he is achieving and developing oneself as a good human being, I hope we mean to achieve so much so in the life. So we have to keep always that whatever tarakki we are doing it, we are supposed to be also developed as a good human being. So I hope I have justified. I once again pay thanks to my principal giving me this opportunity to be the part of wonderful session. I pay thanks to the chairman of the Swadhyaya, Yadav sir, and pay thanks to Jijha, Sainik School Tilaiya. I pay thanks to my department and Mr. Suraj to contribute, and the Madam Coordinator of Tilaiya to the part of this wonderful session. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Now I request Anju ma'am.
Good evening, Anil ji and all the teachers who devoted this time with us. Let me personally extend my hearty compliments to Gopi Yadav sir, President, Sawadhyaya Schools Complex, Karma, and as well as Principal BAB, Mr. Chalendra sir, the District Training Coordinator, for shouldering the responsibility and accomplishing the 100% of these house training sessions. Muhammad Rashid sir, job done despite certain technical glitches. You overcame all the hurdles and your goosebumps. What to talk about your session? It was goosebumps raising all around his body. Lesson to emulate for all of us. Certainly, your ideas, your emphasis on the eternal values and spiritual virtues inside a man. How should we commune ourselves with the external values? Nice session. And great job accomplished. Certainly, we lack something. Spiritual values should be uplifted. Give some advancement in teaching learning process. And I would like to thank all the teachers, worthy teachers, and scholarly teachers who joined and got advantage of your lesson. And lastly, I say teachers and teachers today very much for their huge complex, for so handsomely organizing such sessions for all the teachers so that we may compensate with the 25 in-house hours. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for participating and making this session successful. So, may I now have permission to end the session? Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now we are ending the session. So, all of you, goodbye to everyone. Yeah, अच्छा मेरा इसमें आवाज क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? ये मेरा खराब हो गया है क्या? हाँ उसका सेटिंग ये लीक कर दिया सेशन